Want to know how Jenny, a fun, free-spirited yogi and graduate of my Copy Posse Launchpad Season 2, went from filing for unemployment to earning 6 figures as a freelance copywriter in just over a year? Keep watching. Hey Posse, what's up? It's Alex and I am back. If you've been following me on social media, then you know that I've had COVID this past week and I'm almost 100% recovered, and it's not a moment too soon because I am so excited about the video I have for you this week. You're about to get an exclusive sneak peek at a bonus interview that I conducted with one of my awesome Copy Posse Launchpad grads, Jenny. Now, the full interview is for my students inside my email copywriting program, the Own the Inbox Challenge. But the invaluable tidbits and juicy nuggets of wisdom that Jenny shared were just too damn good. So I decided to release just a portion of this interview for all of you. Give me a thumbs up below if you want to see more exclusive student interviews like this one. And if you're new to the crew, welcome. I put out a new copywriting and marketing video every single week. So if you want to learn more about the trends, tactics, and tools that work today, then you know what to do. Be sure to subscribe below and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when my next video goes live. Now, I am so excited for you to see this interview because it is literal proof that despite the challenges, doubts, and fears that, trust me, inevitably creep up when you make the decision to put yourself out there and try something new, success, freedom, and financial independence are absolutely achievable when you set your mind to it and work hard. In this interview, you're going to hear how Jenny, a then yoga instructor, had to go on unemployment for the first time in her life after losing her job in 2020 due to the pandemic. Like many, she found herself lost, confused, and looking for work, so she found a part-time job working 10 hours a week selling crystals for $17 an hour. That's only $680 a month, by the way. And just over a year later, Jenny was earning a life-changing $17,000 a month as a freelance copywriter, and then $19,000 the month after that, and then $20,000 the month after that. In this interview, she is spilling all the tea on exactly how she did it. And I'm just gonna say it, her tips for finding clients are seriously amazing, so you better be ready to take some notes. Here's the interview. Let's dive in. Take us back, Jenny. Take us back to right before the pandemic hit.
The thing that we don't like to name.
The dreaded pandemic.
So rewind, I was working full-time as a yoga teacher and kind of like running their sales program and teaching like 10 to 12 classes a week. And obviously that happened, like we shut down, had to stop teaching classes. And the day before my birthday, March 8th, I became unemployed. And from like March until I think it was like mid-July, I was searching for jobs. I was on unemployment, just myself. My partner doesn't have a job because he has an autoimmune disease. So we were just on one income. And I was like, what am I going to do?
An unemployment income.
Unemployment income. Living in California, mind you, so things are not cheap. So I started searching for jobs and I found a job supporting a crystal company selling crystals.
First of all, can I just say,
Well,
you are like you're our resident little like hippie yogi witch,
Yeah.
which I absolutely love. Yoga teacher turned crystal slinger.
Dealer.
Crystal dealer. So I just want to focus on that one thing for a second because I just got mad chills when you were like, wow, July 2020, you were on unemployment.
Yeah.
That's insane. Okay. Yeah. It's insane because I know where you are now and I'm just like, when I really think about it, I'm
I know,
like, wow.
It's hard to believe. So July 2020 on unemployment, and I managed to get a job for $17 US dollars an hour. So I had unemployment going and this job working like 5 to 10 hours a week. And I managed to see a job posting for a company that I really love, a tarot company. And I had applied to work for their company like 5 times, you guys. 5 times. Denied. 5. Denied. On the 6th time, I applied for their copywriter position because I realized that I had the skills, but I didn't know what copywriting was. So I applied, only like 30% qualified for the job, and Googled how to teach yourself copywriting, and lo and behold, found Alex and started teaching myself copywriting, just binge watching all of her YouTube videos, landed the job, was learning on the job copywriting, and then...
Can I pause you right there? I have a question. I love that you had no idea what copywriting was, but you read the job description and you're like, wait, that actually sounds like something I want to do, which I think is so common for people who are getting into copywriting, is they don't know what it is until they find out what it is. And then they're like, oh my God, that sounds like me, but can I actually do it? So I'm also curious about the job. Were they asking for an experienced copywriter? Like, how did you land the job when you really just not that long before that, you didn't even know what it was?
That's a good question. I had refreshed their careers page, and that's kind of like the trick that I'm happy to share with you guys of like how I land jobs. I was refreshing their careers page, and every time they had a job opening, virtual assistant, I don't know, like whatever it was, I would apply. And when copywriting came up, the experience, here's the thing is like, I was writing emails for the yoga studio. I was uploading templates in MailChimp, doing all of these things. I didn't realize that was a skill. I just thought it was something that I did as a manager.
Right.
So when I was reading the job description, I realized that like the skill of copywriting is teachable. My personality is who I am. And so being able to like use that is what finally 6 times a charm got the job.
And you realized that you had already kind of been doing copywriting, which to be honest, we all do in some capacity. If you've ever sent an email asking for something, trying to persuade someone to do something for you, you're a copywriter. It's just not maybe knowing it and really being like, oh, actually, this is a skill that I can feed and nourish and keep learning. And so then you found my channel and you started learning copywriting, you applied and you got this job, yay. And persistence, right? Like you said, you applied for everything. And I often say that to people, like, yes, I know we're all like copywriter, but so many times you can get your foot in the door with a company by applying for a related position, right? And so you applied for it all.
So then when did we do Write and Ignite? Was that December?
That would have been November, very end of November last year. So just basically a year ago.
Yeah. So from like end of July until November, I was binge watching your YouTube channels and like taking notes and just teaching myself the skill. And then I signed up for the Write and Ignite challenge. And so that was in November. And then I like offered a friend who had just started a business to write her emails for her in exchange for a testimonial. Cause you guys, I had nothing, no testimonial, no website, nothing. And that was my first client. So in exchange for the testimonial and for the emails that I wrote her during the challenge, cause I did the sales page, of course, but also emails, I managed to get my first client. And now I share an office with this person and I've been working for her for a year. And it's just, yeah, it honestly, like, who was it? Christine put in the comments last night, like, this seems impossible. And I was like talking to my boyfriend about it last night thinking, yeah, it does. Like, it still feels impossible to me, but I'm here. And so I swear to you, like, if I can do it, you can do it. I swear.
Yeah. I think too, like, impossible, like it might, like, it's one of those things where it seems impossible until you've done it, and then watching other people do it. And you know, that word impossible, I think it's imposter syndrome in some ways, because it's really easy for us to go, no, that's impossible. And then we completely remove the reality that it could actually happen. And so not even talking about your copywriting career, watch that word, because it can show up. And if you are always using that as like this, oh, it's impossible, then of course it's not going to be possible, you know? Okay. So, and you weren't making, because you were hired as a copywriter at this company, but you weren't making substantially more than you were making selling crystals, right?
No, I mean, pretty similar, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
But you were doing something that, you know, felt creative, and you're like, okay, I'm learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when was it, like, you were when did you ask your friend or your client, your first client, you're like, hey, can I write emails for you for free? When was that?
That was in it was around Black Friday. So I don't
Right after
did we finish? I might have finished the Write and Ignite challenge, and I was super scared to like put my skills into action, but I had this job that I had to get really good at because they hired me to do it. And yeah, so then that happened in November. And then about 2 months later, she budgeted to hire me, and I came on for like pennies on the dollar because I just wanted the experience. And yeah.
So you were working for this company, then you signed up for the Launchpad.
Yeah. So then in December, so let me back up. So I was binge watching your YouTube videos and refreshing your page, waiting for any training. I'm a training junkie. Like Lindsay said, like I will sign up for everything. And I knew I wanted to do it. So finally the Write and Ignite challenge happened. And then I signed up for that, waited with bated breath for the like something to open. And I'm pretty sure I was the first one. I'll have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure I was the first one to sign up for the Launchpad. And
I should have checked that.
And then, yeah, for the 8 weeks or 9 weeks, however long it was, I was working 2 jobs, you know, the tarot company and the crystal company, and then teaching myself copywriting at night. And you guys, I was not on like any of the lives. I would rewatch everything at night and just try to figure out how to do it because it was important to me. And I knew this was the direction. It just, every bone in my body said yes.
I love that because I remember when you were not only the first one to join the program, but you were the first one to finish the program. And I remember when you submitted your final portfolio at the end of the Launchpad, I felt like I didn't really know you because you weren't on any of the lives. Like I had seen you posting in the group, but you were the first one to complete the program. And that I think was so powerful. You obviously just really created the time and the space to sit down and work on it despite having 2 jobs at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that people don't necessarily see like behind the scenes. Like it was tough, it's doable, but I worked my ass off and it paid off. And it's just for a short period of time. And then the success comes. And of course you have to continue working hard, but yeah, I guess my advice would be like, if it feels right and you know that this is something that you want to add to your toolbox, whether you want to be a copywriter or not, the skills that I learned are forever going to make me a better person. Not even just a better writer, but just a better person.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I love so much about copywriting is, and I've heard this from some of you posting in the group, you're like, okay, like, yes, we're writing emails, but I'm writing better, cover letters. I'm positioning myself differently in my meetings in front of my bosses. Copywriting and marketing is literally every day. And I think that to me is so fun, like how we can use the skill set in so many different ways.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get more into it, but something that just came up for me that I want to share is like, I got to this point where I was making lots of money for other people. And I had a moment where I was like, why the hell can't I do this? Like I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars for other people selling their products and things like that. What about me? Like, I'm just gonna take a chance on myself and try this freelance thing. And guess what? If it doesn't work, I can go make $17 an hour somewhere down the street and be fine doing a 9 to 5. And so with that shift and that mentality, just like finally betting on myself and saying, what do I have to lose?
Why not me?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Why the fuck not? Seriously.
Fuck it. I literally said, fuck it. I wrote down, fuck it, and just did it. So,
but I have a question too. Cause like, I feel like this kind of came up on the call yesterday. This idea, especially for people who do consider themselves to be more spiritual or are more spiritual. And this idea of like spirituality and contribution and purpose being in alignment with also fucking having a 6-figure business. Like, did you ever have that disconnect there? Or for you, did you always really believe like, no, you can have both of these things? Cause I mean, I love that you're like so into the woo woo, but then you're like hustling and like killing it in your business. And to me, that's like, fuck yes. Like that, That's amazing.
So I might get too woo for some of you. Just hold on. I promise we'll bring it back to like reality, but
there's no such thing as too woo.
In the woo world, the yoga teaching world, there is a belief system that like as a yoga teacher, I have to show up and serve for free, and while the highest person is making money. So that is a belief system that has been ingrained in me. So it took an unlearning of like, even sharing with all of you the fact that I had a $17,000 a month, like makes me feel icky inside. Like I have to like back it up with like, well, wait, I didn't make that month, you know? And so I'm just to this point where I feel like we all deserve to be wealthy, because what does wealth mean? Wealth means that I can be of service to you guys and jump on a call every single day for 2 weeks because I had a good month last month. It means that I can, you know, give my services to a company that's doing regenerative, you know, agriculture, whatever, those types of things. So I think it's to answer your question, no, it's my belief system has been, I am not supposed to make money being of service. And that has been my story. So I've always shown up for free or made not a lot of money. And at some point there was a moment where I said, thus far, no further. Why not? Fuck it. I'm just going to try it. And I shattered my own belief system and glass ceiling. And I'm only here on this call talking about money, which is super uncomfortable for me, because I truly believe that every single person that's watching this or even here live has the capacity and ability to make what you want to make. You deserve it. There's enough abundance out there and you'll call it in. I promise.
Yeah. Oh, that's so freaking awesome. It's awesome because I mean, I think everyone can relate to that in some capacity, you know? I remember being really nervous talking about, I think I've shared this on one of our sessions, like when I was interviewed by Forbes and had hit 7 figures, which to me, like I couldn't even conceive. And I was so nervous about that going public because I don't know what I was afraid of. I was afraid that like people would view me differently, or they would think that I like only cared about money when reality, like when my purpose is like truly to serve. And I thought, oh my God, people are going to see that as two competing things. And so I think we all have to lean into that in some capacity. And whether or not that's the limiting belief or there's some other one, it's so powerful to identify it. And then, like you said, say, fuck it, and just lean right into it.
Yeah. And it's really uncomfortable, whatever like stories our parents and like ancestors have created around money. Like there is a culture, not only that women aren't supposed to make money, but that like people that struggle are always going to struggle. And what this community and this posse has given for me is like the opportunity to reframe that and rewrite my story and my power statement, which is I am abundant. And when I'm abundant, I'm in flow and I can give more. And that's important. Service is my why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you can't be in service and also have a very successful business. I love that, your power statement. And yeah, there's just so much goodness there. So let's rewind a little bit. So you're in the launch pad. You had the one client who you did work for free, which there's a lot of debate out there. Like so many people are like, no, I would never work for free. And yeah, obviously there's an extent to that, like similar to what you were saying, where you felt like, oh, you were always working for free. No. If there's a way to get your foot in the door in the beginning and doing something that feels really good and you're in service and you're not getting nothing for it, you're getting something to add to your portfolio or whatever, you have to check in obviously with what feels good. But I love that you did that, because that was really like what got the ball rolling for you.
Yeah. And then in the launch pad, my A-list client ended up hiring me to do a couple of projects. It was emails actually. And then that was kind of like what started it. So I was still working for the tarot company. I quit the $17 an hour job, bumped my pay up a little bit, a couple of dollars, and then just really went into copy. And then I got to a point where I realized my worth and I needed to pivot. And so I left the secure 9-to-5 job and went fully freelance in, July 25th of this year. So that's
okay. So
July, guys, only 5 months. That's it. I've only been freelancing for 5 months.
But July 2020, you were unemployed and on unemployment.
Yeah.
July 2021, you went full-time into freelance copywriting. Like that just came so epic. And I love that. I didn't even know that your A-list client hired you for a couple projects. That's amazing. Yeah. I love that so much. Yeah. So you went full time. I remember that post. You're like, I did it. Like, I quit my job. I'm going full time. Now, like, take us to, you know, basically you had 3 months in a row up until the point of you and I chatting about this. Maybe now it's 4 months in a row, but I mean, you made $17,000 in a month, and that wasn't just 1 month. You made the same, if not comparable, the next month and the next month after that.
Yeah. So my human design type, if you guys are familiar, is a generator. So I'm just constantly like battery mode moving forward. So I did the thing you're not supposed to do as a copywriter or freelancer is I said yes to everything. So I was working 7 days a week and like got all the way to my burnout and realized like, oh, this isn't for me, and found like a sweet spot. So last month, I think my sweet spot was like right around that, it's even hard to say, like that 12 to 13 is what I made. And I hit that 19, but it was too much. My why is, you know, freedom. I make my own schedule offline at a certain time. And I had to do like a reality check and say, okay, you're getting too far out there. So the last couple of months, I'm still in that high 5 figure. And then, yeah, I've just been, so this is what I do. And I'm happy to share this all with you. I can do a Loom video and make this for you if we don't have time today, but what I do, you guys, is I take a pen and a piece of paper and I write down every product that I use, everything from like the iPhone to the water bottle, like who makes this? They go on my list and I just go hunting and I look at their careers page. And if they're not hiring, I send a cold email. And if they don't respond, I follow up. If they are hiring, I try to get an interview, and I hunt on LinkedIn and different job boards besides like ZipRecruiter and Indeed and like Fiverr. That's just not for me. I'm thinking like, where do the people that I want to work with hang out? Mm-hmm. Facebook groups that other copywriters maybe aren't in. And, you know, DMs, like I have multiple people that are in my DMs that I've been nurturing conversations with for a year that haven't turned into anything. But on November 14th, one of them turned into a retainer client. So I guess the point is like, just like figure out what you use every day. Like you're their customer avatar, you're their customer player,
totally.
Player, you know what I mean? So
I love that. First of all, I just picture you kind of hunting. You're like, where am I going to get those clients? Where am I going to get those clients? And I mean, that's incredible because you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. You've gotten clients from the posse, but you also were like, I'm going to go out there and just, hey, what's the worst that could happen? I'm going to send an email to the person who makes this because guess what? I'm one of their customers. And I think there's something so cool about that because you diversify your strategies so much that you're saying no more than you're saying yes sometimes. And then you were even sharing, like you would find job posts and you would share it in the group because you're like, hey, I don't have capacity to take on this client, but you guys look, I found this, which I thought was so incredible. And like going to back to what you said, you had one client. How long after was it? After you reached out that they then came back?
I was nurturing a conversation with somebody online through DMs, like becoming friends with this person for a year. And they just finally said, okay, I'm ready to work with you. And I said, great, awesome.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? No conversation is a waste. I know a lot of times people are like, I sent a message, I didn't hear back, or I sent a message and they don't want to hire me. It's like making yourself, making them aware of you in whatever capacity. Again, you were just building a relationship through DMs. You were just saying, hey, building a friendship, not trying to sell them on anything. A year later, they came back and they're like, hey. And there's something so simple about it. I remember posting or talking about this in the Launchpad last year, where it was like, hey, how many of you have actually just told everyone in your life what you're doing? Crickets, yeah. You know, because it's scary. Like, and the truth of the matter is, you might not be able to think of someone right off the top of your head who's looking for a copywriter. But if you tell all of your colleagues, former bosses, friends, family members, post it on social media, letting everyone know, hey, this is this new thing I'm doing. I'm looking for clients. If you know anyone, send them my way. You're planting like little seeds everywhere that, guess what? The second one of those people hears that someone needs a writer, they go, oh, I know someone, let me introduce you. Because here's the thing, everyone wants to be the hero and create a referral, right? I mean, that's part of my passion, is that I love it when I know a business is looking for a copywriter and I have copywriters looking for work, and I can like put them together through the Posse job board and be like, hi, I did that, I brought them together. But everyone loves to create relationships because it's such a powerful way to exchange value, even when you're just the one referring. And so letting people know what you're doing is insanely powerful.
Yeah. And I have came up with like a little acronym a while ago, a few months ago, like be a rad human, relatable, authentic, and determined. You guys, I applied for that job that I told you about that I got 6 times. Yeah. Had I quit on number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, you know, who knows what could have happened. And so just be yourself when you're applying for jobs. People want to see your personality. Write like you talk. Even when you're sending a professional email, reaching out to like, I don't know, I reached out to Lululemon, got denied 3 times, I think. And like their email was like, this is so great, but we're not hiring for a copywriter. So
that's amazing. Yeah. You're like Lululemon, like, you know, that's hilarious. But like not being afraid of rejection. Cause here's the thing, right? If you think of, let's like do some math. The average conversion rate of a sales page on like, let's say a $100 product is 3 to 5% at the high end, right? Now, that's probably with leads and traffic who know who you are and what you're doing. You're doing a cold email to a business who has no idea who you are. They might not even be looking for a copywriter, meaning they're not even in the market. At least when people go to the sales page, you can kind of bet that they're like curious enough or at least in the market to possibly buy it. And there's no trust or rapport built. And what you're offering is way more than $100. It's a high ticket service. So you got to apply that like just general common sense to that sort of process. It's a numbers game, but there's ways that you can be more strategic. Like you said, I don't like hanging out on Fiverr and those boards. I go to the companies who I already have an in because I'm a customer with them, and they're not going to ignore a customer, right? Hopefully not. And companies that are already saying, hey, we're hiring, even if it's not for a copywriter.
Yeah. And, you know, it's teaching me I'm getting better at receiving feedback because, you know, of course, when we submit a project, we want it to be perfect because we're perfectionists, but the truth is we're not, and we learn from the feedback. So getting denied, like I get denied all day long, you guys. I even have a couple of rejection letters up in case you wanted to see them, but like, just know that that's part of the process, and it's going to make you better at what you do, because at the end of the day, this is business. And like, I think you talked about this, Alex, right? About like, we're not, maybe that was on Rain, but like, we're not selling ourselves, we're selling our offer, what we have to give. And so separating that two makes it a little bit easier to receive the rejection, and then receiving rejection more and more makes it easier. So I'm basically an expert.
Rejection oftentimes is just nothing. Most of the time it's a polite no thanks. You know what I mean? It's not like people are like, you horrible person, I can't believe you're trying to sell me something. Okay, so I feel like I have so many questions I want to ask you, but yeah, I first of all, I love what you said, that you were hitting those like $17,000, $19,000, $20,000 months. And then you were like, whoa. Okay, I can do this, but I'm realizing that I'm compromising some of my other values for this. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. Which I think is smart if you are in the type of payment structure where it really is like trading time for money. And I think the end goal for any copywriter is to get to that point where, yes, you're on retainer, but it doesn't always necessarily mean working more. And that all depends obviously on the clients and stuff. And I know I've had clients that pay me on retainer, and there's some months where it's really, really quiet. Cause I think there's this misconception where, and it happens a lot, we have this conversation in my high level groups, is we have been ingrained and trained to believe that in order to make money, we have to put in a certain amount of time. We have to work our asses off. And that obviously is true in some extent. Like, we're not saying any of this is easy. Like, look, you worked your butt off to get to where you are, Jenny. But, you know, a lot of times clients want to hire writers on retainer so that they have them on standby. And that means some months being quieter than others. But I know for me as a business owner, I love hiring copywriters on retainer because I know that they're there when I need help. And then there's some months where things are slower and I'm not stressing out that I'm not getting the value from them, because other months, like planning for this launch, for example, was a ton of work. And so it ebbs and flows, and finding those clients that really complement your work style and schedule.
Yeah. And actually, to that point, one of my no's that I applied for a job and was told no. 2 months later, they reached out to me and brought me on for a different project. And that no became one of my retainer clients at the time. So yeah, no is just like a not right now. And if you keep that running list, like I literally have an Excel spreadsheet, you guys, that I just have all of the places that I want to work and that I've applied, and I don't close it out until it feels right. So.
And so I have some questions, because this is something too that I think I try to really, really remind myself of. But how have you celebrated? Because holy shit, look at how far you have come.
So hard. This is my celebration. I was leaving my house this morning to come to my new office that I manifested, and my boyfriend was like Jenny, like you never thought you were going to be a success story because you're so humble, but like let this call be your celebration.
Yeah,
and I'm
receive it.
terrible at celebrating. I just go on what's next. So how I celebrate is by hanging out with all you guys.
Girl, I gotta like you have to do something so extravagant. Here's your challenge. You have to go do something so extravagant.
No, well, I'm writing it down. Just kidding.
Like whether it's going and like dressing up and sitting in the lobby of a hotel and drinking ridiculously expensive champagne, or book yourself a spa day. Because here's the thing, I'm just like you. I am so freaking bad at celebrating, which is part of why, right? I encourage you guys to celebrate and share your wins. And I know it feels icky at first. Oh, I don't want to brag. Oh, no, I don't want to like be the bright light. I don't want to take up space. I don't want to be the tall poppy. I struggled with that for so freaking long. I was behind the scenes in my business for 8 years before I worked up the courage to start my YouTube channel. And then I'm like, what? Why did I wait so long to put myself out there? And honestly, celebrating is so important. And if you're one of those people who's terrible at celebrating, you should be celebrating yourself now for just getting this far in the challenge. Like, look at you, you're here, you showed the fuck up. And I'm so proud of you for that. And make celebration part of your process, because I'm telling you, I am terrible at it. I am absolutely terrible at it. And Jenny, I know you are too. That's why I called you out on it. And I think we all need to remember how far we've come and how the universe, if we're getting woo-woo, likes recognition and likes to be celebrated. So if you're like manifesting these incredible experiences, if you're hustling and you're building your business, be like, I see you, I'm celebrating you, right? Because then the universe knows, oh, great, we're going to send that person more of it, right? And so I'm a big believer in that. And so that's your challenge, Jenny. And to everybody on here, I'll have you know. Jenny, thank you so much for being so candid and open with us and just sharing your whole journey, because honestly, to go from unemployed to freelance copywriter in a year, and then to get where you have in your business, where you're able to decide what feels good and what you want out of a copywriting business, is so inspirational. And I just appreciate you taking the time to be here and share with our challengers.
Yeah. And to end it, just hashtag fuck it, just do it. And I love you guys so much. And this has been just a wonderful experience to be able to be and witness, your journey. So keep going. You got this.
See, I told you, isn't her story amazing? Seriously, I get full body chills every damn time. So if you want to ignite your freelance copywriting business like Jenny did, using the exact same system that Jenny did, then click the link in the description box below to learn more about my flagship 8-week copywriter coaching program. And until next time, I'm Alex. Ciao for now. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to check out the next one from me right here. And you can click right here to get a free gift. Want to know how my student Sam, in just 8 months, went from a miserable 9-to-5 job with $136 in his bank account to making over $16,000 a month? Keep watching.